That's one of the ways that we take attendance during this meeting. Go ahead and hit the next slide, please. Sam, I see that you're there, but you have no audio. That is just fine. I will hopefully remember you said that and say it out when you get to that. If not, just ignore me when I skip over you. Here's our agenda. We got quite a bit going on today. We've got our standard things. We've got some grant updates, quite a bit of new business and some new things that we're going to be doing each meeting simply because of the new FY27 grant that starts today. Next slide. All right, let's go ahead and do our roll call. Anderson Hospital.
Eric Brandmeyer representing Anderson Hospital.
Memorial.
Aaron Rodgers here from Alton.
I saw Aaron there. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Let me check my things here.
So did you hear me? This is Eric.
Eric, now I hear you. That was
Okay.
100% user error. I made sure my mic was working beautifully, but I forgot my speakers. So there you go.
Awesome.
I was 50-50 there for it. So there we go. All right. So Alton, I'm guessing Aaron probably said something and I didn't hear him. Boyd Healthcare.
Yeah, I just said that I was here.
Perfect. Thanks, Aaron.
Boyd is here.
Carlinville. Perfect. Thank you, Boyd. Carlinville.
Tyler is here from Carlinville.
Thank you, Tyler. Community Memorial Staunton.
Eric Brandmeyer is here for that too.
You know, I probably should just like put those together and say them, but I keep
okay.
forgetting to.
That's why I
So
didn't
there we
say
go.
both right away, Sue. I didn't want to trip you up.
It makes you more important when we get you to holler out for both of them. So there we go.
Right.
Fayette County. Gateway Regional. Holy Family.
This is Patrick Small for Holy Family.
Patrick, thank you. St. Joseph Breeze.
Stacy's here for Breeze.
Thank you, Stacy. St. Joseph Highland.
Patrick as well.
Thank you, Patrick. Makes you more important too to say it twice, right?
Exactly.
Right.
I love it.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm not going to say it's my messing up. I'm just sticking with that one. Jersey Community. All right. For Memorial Belleville and Shiloh, we have myself and Lee. Memorial Hospital Chester.
Hi, this is Georgia.
Hi, Georgia. St. Anthony's.
Tracy from St. Anthony's.
Thank you. Redbud Regional. Sparta Community.
Dale Worthington, Sparta Community Hospital.
Thank you, Dale. And Touche Regional. Moving to our health departments, Bond County. Calhoun County. Clinton County. Eastside Health District. Fayette County. Greene County. Jersey County.
Jersey County's here.
Thank you. Macoupin County. Madison County. Monroe County.
Hi, this is Libby with Monroe County.
Thank you, Libby. Randolph County. And St. Clair County. Moving to our community partners, our regional EMS coordinator. E, are you still on? I just lost the view. Somebody has taken, someone has taken over the screen. There we go. All right. Emergency response coordinator. Orange Jewish Christian. Our emergency management agency, and we already saw Sam. I talked to her already about it, her signing in. MedStar Ambulance.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here. John's here.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Abbott Ambulance? SSM Health St. Louis? Scott Air Force Base? St. Louis Stars? St. Louis Regional Healthcare Coalition? St. Louis VA Medical Center?
Eric Fram is here.
Thank you, Eric. And the Rehab Institute of Southern Illinois. I thought I saw them signing in as well. If I did not call your name out, please let me know. You can always send me something to remind me to add you to our roll call and make sure that you have signed in the meeting chat. So thank you all for that. Next slide. We're going to go into our do outs and open tasks, which I am happy to say, as usual, we have no do outs and open tasks. Going into IDPH, is Nicole on the call? I didn't hear her answer. Okay, now we'll go on to public health departments. And is Beth or someone for the public health departments? All right, how about for our STARS team? Again, I don't think I heard anyone, but it could be that they're having some issues with their sound as well. Okay. We do have the information that we've had previously that the Healthcare Emergency Management Academy has started. It's helping to develop a training academy focused on creating a common foundation for emergency management duties. If you're interested in participating, reach out to Shelley Brandt. There is also a live needs assessment survey currently available, and they appreciate our participation in it. And then the chemical and biological threat preparedness workshop is going to be September 28th to 30th. They're going to have 2 days of discussions and presentations and then a half-day tabletop on September 30th. Really recommend that if you are able to attend and participate in that, it's recommended that you do. Moving on to Remert. I don't know, Lee, if you want to just chat about what's coming up for you guys.
Yeah, so we've already completed IndyCar for the year. We do have a few folks that are going to be out supporting O'Fallon with their celebration on the 3rd. We have several folks who will be at the ISP Youth Camp for the entirety of the event. So basically 6 days, 24 hours a day, we'll have folks there with them. In September, we will be staffing the NASCAR race, setting up the tents with the treatment areas and everything. And that's going to be, hopefully much cooler than it is now. And then with the Belleville Marathon coming up at the end of September, that will be one of our other big lifts. Also not listed here that I probably need to add is the St. Clair County Fair. Remert will be providing on-site medical for the fair as well. If anyone has any questions or requests or is interested in participating or joining with Remert, please feel free to reach out to Mike Gilbert or myself.
And I'm going to give a little shout out right here to Lee, Mike, and Jen Dorner. I have seen the pictures of, and I'm going to share them as soon as they're completed, all the excellent work that's going on in the background to get all the supplies that they need for all of these, as well as organization. When our warehouse gets all of this stuff in, it just comes in big old boxes and get plunked on the ground. They have been working tirelessly to organize that warehouse and to set it up so that it's easy to use and it's functional. I'd like to propose that probably next month or so either during the next month, we can figure out a date of when everybody can just stop by and we'll do an open house in our warehouse so you can check it out. They have just done an amazing job. And I wish everybody could see how it's coming along, but we'll wait till it's completely done. But again, thank you to Lee, Mike, and Jen Dorner. Next slide, please. Okay, for VA, I'm going to turn it over to Eric.
Good morning. So, we completed our FCC tabletop exercise on June 17, and one of the things that was mentioned is that there's going to be some, it's hosted by our actual national VA, so it's VHA, the Veterans Health Administration. They're going to be bringing some larger exercises into the region. Either going to be hosted out at Scott, and there's been some mention of potentially getting some of our community partners involved in that. Once I get that information, I will get that to you over to you, Sue, so that we can hopefully get folks that may be interested in trying to, who have time on that in that time frame, because I don't know if it's the entire, when will they allow those folks to participate and then in that exercise, but we'll get some information out. And so if there's a possibility to get them to participate, we would like for those, anybody that can, obviously be there to be there. And so we'll try to get that information out, because that's not something I'm hosting. I am merely a spokesman for my counterpart, who's the area emergency manager, Derek McDonald, who will be there. And so, but we do want to eventually, obviously, get some folks in the community who could, can go there and observe or do whatever to, just get some visibility on this exercise. I believe it's in the September timeframe, but this thing has been canceled and pushed to the right several times. So once we get this hammered down, I will push that out, and that's all I have.
Perfect. Thank you. Grant update. Got lots and lots to talk about the grant today. So our grant period for FY26 completed yesterday, 6:30. Right now I'm completing the final documentation for submissions. Remember, if you have anything, if you were a sub-awardee in the FY26 grant period, make sure that you get all of your documents over to Daphne so that we can get this completely closed out, so that we can move on to the 2027 grant. That grant started today, 7/1. Our grant application is in its final review. Thank you for everyone who has resent over or helped me get through all of the project proposals to make sure that we get those included. You may have already seen that some of the grant processes have changed with GMO. We have a new GMO representative who is trying to get these contracts out to the sub-awardees very quickly, even before we get the final review and the submission. Our grant is due to be submitted no later than 7/8. As I told you before, the grant was flat. There was no up or down with our totals. Excuse me. So again, I've already got all that ready, and GMO is working their way through it. We'll see what they have to tell me. And then we'll get that. Our goal is to have that submitted by 7/6. And that is just because we like to have it a few days early beforehand, just in case the state sends it back to us, so that we don't miss out on that date. As soon as I know what the state has approved or not approved, etc., I will be sharing that with the folks on this call. And then, of course, you have to start thinking already. I know it sounds like just an amazing time when I'm already trying to hit you with this next, to start thinking about the next grant proposal, because that's going to open up in about a month. So you're going to start thinking about what you're going to be doing for fiscal year 2028, which starts on July 1, 2027. So start thinking ahead for that year. I know it's a lot early for me to talk about this, but again, I'm going to be talking about this a lot. Next slide, please. Okay, we got some interesting new and old deliverables when it came to the deliverables that came out. One of the ones I don't have on here is there's now a requirement for the chair of the coalition to live in the region where the coalition is. So that would be me having the requirement of living in the region. The good news is I already live here, so not a problem. We're in compliance. That's a very interesting one. Some of my colleagues across the state were very shocked by that, because not everyone lives in the region that they are the chair for. So again, our region doesn't need to worry about it, because I'm already all of your neighbor anyway. New things that we do have to accomplish. So first of all, we had started talking about this before. We need to complete our RIS 2.0s for your HVA. Now you don't have to use that HVA for your hospital, but we do have to have one for each one of our members. Especially if you are a sub-grantee, a sub-awardee, you have to have a RIS 2.0. We had a feeling, if you remember, we talked about this last year. So we started going in that direction already, and we were right. It is a requirement. The next one is interesting too. So it says PIO, which is Public Information Officer training for all members. It's not a full, you don't all have to become PIOs. What the new requirement is that we, myself, Lee, and Sean and Scott, as your coalition member employees, must create or secure training for you on public information officer or the communication pathways for a public information officer. You'll notice that I have underlined and in italics right underneath that. This is actually a requirement for me to say to you. I encourage absolutely every member to participate in this training. What our thought is, we're still working on developing the training or deciding if we're going to secure it from someone else or if myself, Lee, and Sean are going to create it and present it to you, or if somebody else in the coalition is really interested in getting involved. Please let me know, and I'd love for you to be involved with this. But we are thinking one of our in-person meetings, we will take that meeting and do that training so that we can get it accomplished. We do have until June 30th, 2027 to complete that. So that's good. The next one is some new policies. It's interesting. We already have in some of our plans, we have notes for this, but now they want us to make sure that we have policies that talk about how we're going to acquire, rotate, and store our equipment. This is not you as the at the hospitals, the EMS agencies, the health departments, our other partners. This means what we do for the Hope Coalition itself. We need to create a policy for inventory management protocols as well. And again, we have until 6:30 to accomplish that. We really do already have a process in place. We just have to spell it out on paper. This one's going to be interesting as well. There's been a change to the resource request exercise. Up until now, this was something that was health department led. Going to be coalition initiated, and you'll notice again the underlined italics. We encourage every member to participate in these exercises when we run them. We will be not anytime soon. It won't be before our next meeting. So we're still going to be working in conjunction with our local health departments to see what their best thoughts are on how they want us to run this, because it really is still a health department. It's a health department requirement as well. So we don't want to make it where we have to do more than one. So we're still going to work with our health departments. And then the final one I want to draw your attention to is subawardees travel. So a lot of our subaward dollars go to travel for conferences and things like that, which is really important for our community and for our coalition so that we can keep all that new information coming forward. And in fact, one of the requirements is for myself, Lee, and Sean to go to a specific conference. If you are a subawardee and you get coalition dollars to go to a conference, we are expecting you, when you come back, to give us an outline of what you learned or what you're bringing back to the organization. It's the same thing that myself, Lee, and Sean and Scott do when we come back, and we give you that one slide and tell you what's going on and what we've learned from it and some of the takeaways that we've gotten. So again, it's pretty simple. We're not expecting you to do a class. We just want to know what did you learn there? What are you bringing back? And maybe you're going to have something really good that's going to help the rest of us with the things that we're doing for our community. And that really is just showing why we're spending our coalition dollars in sending people to conferences for learning. I'm going to stop here and see if there's any questions on this part. All right, next slide, please. So we have a new thing that's called a standing reminder. This goes into the new requirements for our grant dollars starting today. The state of Illinois wants to encourage each and every hospital to become EDAP, Emergency Department approved for pediatrics, if possible, and then standby emergency departments for pediatrics as appropriate. Please note, all of these have that same underlined italics. We encourage you to participate in all of these. We also tell you that you should be incorporating NIMS, the National Incident Management System compliance, into all of your planning and exercise at your hospitals or at your health departments, etc. Any exercise should be NIMS compliant. I don't think that's really an issue because I don't know any of us that don't use NIMS. Even if you use the HICS, the health incident management system, that's okay too. As long as you're using those in your systems, we're going to be all set with that. I'm not sure why the state included that in one of the requirements this year. I don't think that relates to our coalition because I haven't seen anything that wasn't NIMS compliant. So again, I'm still required to bring this as a standing agenda item to remind you. Next one is EM resources. Please make sure that your facility is updating by 10 a.m. daily. We've had a few organizations that have not been, and I also know that there has been some challenges for some of our locations to make sure that they're able to update EM resources. Lee has given us a reminder that we can enroll our facility in the BedSync program to help eliminate those updates. But please make sure someone is responsible for making those updates. There was a large section of the deliverable document, and I'm happy to let anybody see that if you'd like. It's rather boring reading, but you're feel free to review it. They really put a focus on EM resource for this grant period. And that reminder that says, please ensure your facility is submitting updates by 10 a.m. daily is specifically pulled right from that document. So again, please make sure that you're doing that. And we encourage you with every one of these. This is the longest time I'm going to be talking on this slide each month. We're going to hit the high points each month, but then keep it on moving on. Any questions on this section? Excellent. Next slide, please. So some new business. This one I'm going to turn over to Lee and let him talk about it.
All right, everybody. The requests that we're getting, we have a lot of old radios. These APX 6000s that were provided moons ago now are all coming up on their end of life, and there's been some changes made within the state on the communication side. There's a federal requirement that basically says we have to have a specific type of encryption. When those radios came out, that wasn't purchased because it wasn't necessary. So we're going to have to touch each one of those to upgrade them. And I know when Mike went out and did the last round of program edits and things for everybody, we came to the facility, but that was a huge lift on our side to do that. Since these are portable radios and to encourage participation in our in-person meeting, we're going to ask that everyone bring your radio with you. The actual update process should only take a couple of minutes per radio. We don't have that many radios in the system and the region, so we should be able to knock those out pretty quickly. There is also going to be it's supposedly happening. We've been told by IDPH that they are purchased. We're just waiting on them. There will be new Starcom radios, base station units that are supposed to be coming out. I see Eric has his hand up.
Yeah, Lee, that is in addition to the last update that Mike did when he came out. So, yes.
Correct. So
okay.
we on grant dollars, we purchased the upgrade for all of the radios that we knew of at the time. But I guess subsequently we have located within some other facilities radios that we didn't know about. They weren't as a part of our original purchase. And we have a mandate as a part of the grant. We have to keep a track of every radio that's basically in the region that's covered by the grant. So we're hoping when we get everybody to bring those radios with you to the meeting, we will be able to record the information we need and ensure that everybody's updated. And then if Chris Cochran at IDPH gets the radios in time, we may very well be handing you a new mobile radio to take home with you. They would be replacements for the radios that you have in your emergency department. And they should be relatively plug and play. The old radios, we are still in discussions on what we intend to do with those. Whether we're going to try to cache those at the warehouse for a disaster or what their ultimate disposition will be. So more to come on that part, but at this point in time, the biggest, most important thing is that we get all those handhelds up to snuff so that they can actually talk to the state. And we will remind this again, basically in August.
Absolutely. And I'm going to add to that, just so everyone knows, that inventory that Lee is talking about, we have to have that completed and submitted to the state by 12/31. So it's really important that you bring that. So we're going to be drilling this into your head. So everyone just shows up and says, hey, I remembered to bring my radio. Now leave me alone. And we're okay with that. Next slide. Hey, back up one. There we go. Yesterday, I went to an Everbridge training program, and our system is being updated. We need to make sure that we have all of the correct information for your organization. If you know that you have to give updates, you can send them to info@swillhope.org. If I don't have, or we don't have the correct contact information for you at your facility, you will not get emergency notices from the coalition. They just won't come. On that September meeting that we're going to have in person along with the radios, because it won't be before then that we've updated this, I will be bringing out our official Hope Coalition contact list, and I'm going to have you initial it to say that, yep, this is correct. So we really have to make sure that all of our notifications, all of our contact information is updated in Everbridge so that you get all the information that you need. Any questions on that? All right, now we can go to the next slide. So this is our high consequence infectious disease that we're still working on. I'll share with you that today, Scott is not with us on the call today because he is out getting some education as our clinical advisor for the coalition. He is getting some training on proper PPE use for Ebola. Again, if you have not already gone into the D4H dashboard and updated your information, please make sure that you do. If you have any issues getting into D4H, please let Lee know and he'll be able to help you out with that. Do we have any questions? All right, next slide. Now into our old business. MOUs. The first 5 MOUs have been sent out. 3 of those organizations have already returned those. I will be sending out more in the next coming week. I got a week off because of or a week and a half off because of the grant application. But I need to have all of them returned by 8/4. If you have not received any of your MOU, nothing by 7/24, that means for some reason I don't have your information written down. So I will be again I've got 4 more that are ready to go out today. So please make sure that we get those sent back to me so that, and then again, we're going to be a little short time that we use them so that we can get into an early year process for those. But again, the first ones have been sent out and the rest will be out in the next week or so.
Hey,
Next
Sue,
slide.
this is
Yep.
Dale at Sparta Hospital. Hey, I requested a copy of our MOU. Oh, it's probably been about maybe 6 weeks ago when I was updating my EOP and preparing for ACHC. And you sent me one. Am I going to do this again, or is the one that you sent to me the most current one?
The one that I sent to you is the most current one.
Okay, thank you.
So you're all set. Yep. You were one of the folks that already got yours.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, no problem. 2026 decon training. I'm going to turn it over to Lee to remind you of this, but I will share before I do that, that this is again a requirement for our grant. Lee?
Yep. So again, we encourage you to participate. To do on-site training at your location, we require a minimum of 10 students. It has to be registered inside of the coalition portal 7 days prior to the class, because it's really a hard lift for us to do a travel class for less than 10. We cap it out at no more than 20. The facility that, wherever you're going to host, please ensure that you have either a functioning shower bay or a tent with water and all of the things you would have in a real world, so that we can do what we refer to as the wet session as accurately as it can be. Much like you see in the photo, by the end of the day, for those that haven't done it, you'll be in full suit. You'll be doing decon with water and soap and all kinds of nastiness to ensure that you're capable of doing it when the real thing happens. You also would need to ensure that you have all necessary PPE prior to the class. I know I've had several folks that have reached out to me asking for lists of PPE on what they should have, or vendors for equipment. I can happily distribute the list as to what we have as a coalition purchased historically and what we intend to pursue future wise, as well as the vendor. The original goal of when we dispensed equipment was that we'd give you all the first load, and as you burn through it, you would just reorder what you needed. This is an opportunity to put in a project proposal. If you know you need equipment for your facility, aside from boots, we still have a lot of boots. You're welcome to come get them. But anything else, this is a good opportunity for project requests. And again, questions, concerns, anything like that, you can send it to us, and between Scott, myself, we will ensure that we get you the answer if we don't have it.
Yeah, so maybe lead that day to visit the warehouse might be a day to go boot shopping for some of our with some of our members. So that might be a good plan.
Do we like an Oprah thing? You get a boot, you get a boot, you get a boot.
Yeah, there are a lot of boots in that warehouse. So it'd be good for them to be able to get used that way. Good call. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Lee? All right, moving on to the next slide. Upcoming events. We have that first receiver decon class, Memorial Belleville, on September 1st. Again, I appreciate that we wrote enjoy the Illinois 300 NASCAR on September 11th to the 13th, and then the Belleville Marathon is on September 26th. And that's going to lead us into our open discussion, and if anybody has anything they need to bring up.
Hey, Sue, it's Mike.
Yep.
I just got an email this morning that our ventilators that are out at our hospitals are going to have to come back here in the next couple of weeks for PM. So we'll be reaching out to the resource hospitals that have them, but they're going to have to come back for a PM. They're going to do ours first, and then they're going to do the ones that are out deployed out.
Perfect. That's an important one. So as soon as Mike knows where, he'll make sure that you're going to contact folks and let them know what they need to bring back to us to be to be PM'd, right?
Correct.
Perfect. So keep an eye out for that email for those of you that have the ventilators. Thank you for that. Anyone else?
Hey, Lee.
All right. Go ahead. I was just
right.
going to call on Kara.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
Kara, you can wait. Eric, this is Eric. Leah, you had mentioned somewhere along the line you guys were considering doing a decon team train the trainer. Is there any movement or thought on that moving forward?
Yeah, I will say lots and lots of thought, not a whole lot of progress.
Okay.
But yes, it is. Honestly, now that we're through the worst part of the grant, once things start to sort of balance out after the holiday, I will Shanghai Sue for a couple of days to finish that project, and then we will try to get something on the books. Probably wouldn't be until the earliest we could do a class, probably be September.
Okay, that'd be great. I just want to toss my hat in the ring. I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as you guys, but I'd be happy to help. So,
Sounds good.
I think that's great. That would help us to meet that requirement that we have for decon training. So I definitely love the idea. Thank you for bringing that up. Now I'm going to turn it over to Kara.
Okay, sorry I was late. Got pulled somewhere real quick. I just wanted to bring up the operational summit that we're going to have in August. Excuse me. Registration is open. I posted the website link in the chat here. We are going to have a tabletop exercise on day 2, and it's going to be a cyber security topic, and there are going to be some hospital healthcare components in there. I don't have exact details, but it will there will be some parts there for y'all to play in. So just wanted to share that information. It just kind of came up yesterday. We had our first planning meeting with Haggerty, who's going to be putting on that tabletop for us. So if you have any questions, I know Sue and Lee and Sean are all registered, so we are excited for you guys to attend. It is open for everyone. There may be opportunities it's a $35 registration fee, which covers lunch on the first day and some snacks and whatnot, all the things that grants won't pay for. So it's a small fee. I hope that you guys can cover that. I know it gets weird this time of year to get registered right on, July 1st with the fiscal and all for some of you in the government world anyway. There may be an opportunity, depending on registration, for the tabletop to be covered just solely for the tabletop, but that information will come out later. So no guarantees. It's going to go to our attendees first. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate the minute to share that, and I put the link in the chat.
Sounds great. And she already let you know that we're from the Hope Coalition are registered. And we're going to use our new underlined italic comment to say again, we encourage you to attend. Georgia, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, so Mike Gilbert was at my facility last week. Do I need to bring my portable up in September?
Your portable is all good. And
Okay.
your other one, Chris Cochran's taking care of. So,
Yeah, I'm waiting on the label to send back.
yep. So you're all
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that check. Appreciate it. Anyone else?
Also, Eric Brandemeyer is all good too. So we did his at the last regional meeting.
that's what I was checking. Thanks, Mike.
Perfect. Thank you. Anyone else with something for the open floor? All right, not hearing or seeing any questions or any hands up. I'm just going to remind you on the next slide of when our next meeting is. And then as a good safety officer, I would be remiss if I did not remind you that our fabulous 4th of July celebration is this weekend. Please let the professionals take care of the fireworks instead of losing a finger. That's going to bring us to the end, and I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. If you haven't already put your name in the chat, please make sure that you do so.